This is Plum's monologue. Well, greetings all. It's a pleasure for you to see me. Oh, cocktail hour. Are you afraid of silence, Mrs. Peacock? In my professional opinion, it seems you suffer from what we call pressure of speech. Yes, I am a doctor of psychological medicine. I do research from you-know-who, a branch of the United Nations organization, the World Health Organization. This is Miss White's monologue. I didn't kill him. I don't want another scandal, do I? We had a very humiliating confrontation. He had threatened to kill me in public. It was all over the papers. In the end, he was found dead at home, unclothed. His head had been cut off, and so had his, I suppose it's an issue of life or death. Now that he's dead, I have a life. This is Miss Scarlet's monologue. Oh, I'm being blackmailed, all right. But I did what I'm being blackmailed for. Well, I run my own business. I provide gentlemen with the company of a young lady for a short while. Say, who's your husband, Mrs. Peacock? Maybe I know him. Once upon a time, there was this little girl who lived with her mother, and her mother one day was like, Little Red, you need to give this bread to your grandma. And she's like, okay. So she's skipping through the woods because for some reason her grandma lives like really far in the woods. And then all of a sudden she comes upon this wolf, and the wolf's like, hey, I like you. You're cool. And then in its head he's like, this looks like a scrumptious meal. But in reality he says, yo, where you headed? And then Little Red's like, to my grandma's? And the wolf is like, okay, cool, bye. And so then he's never seen again, or is he? So she's skipping to her grandma's, what have you. She gets there. First, seems a little off. The door's open, and Little Red's like, this is funky. Granny does not do that. And then she walks in, and at first she's like, hey, Granny, I brought you some bread. And then Granny's like, thank you, dear child. And Little Red's like, hold up. That does not sound like Granny. And so she's like, Granny, my, what big teeth you have. And Granny's like, thanks. And Little Red's like, my, what big nose you have. And Granny's like, Little Red's starting to get real suspicious of this Granny because for some reason now she sees fur. So then she pulls back the covers and she's like, oh my God, it's the wolf. And the wolf is like, not so fast, child. And just eats Little Red. She's gone forever. And so Wolf is getting ready to leave. He's got like a fat belly because he just ate a grandma and Little Red. So he's waltzing out of that cottage. But along the way, this kind huntsman was looking out for Little Red because he saw her talking to this wolf and he was like, this is suspicious. So then he sees the wolf with the full belly and granny clothes on and he's like, oh crap. And so then he takes his knife, I have a fork, and he stabs the wolf, carves open his belly, and the wolf goes, and he's gone forever. And then out comes Granny and Little Red, and they're like, oh my God, thank you, Woodsman, for saving our lives. And then they lived happily ever after and stranger danger. Thank you.